The diesel engine is an internal combustion engine in which ignition of the fuel that has been injected into the combustion chamber is initiated by the high temperature which a gas achieves when greatly compressed. This contrasts with spark ignition engines such as a petrol engine or gas engine, which use a spark plug to ignite an air-fuel mixture. The diesel engine has the highest thermal efficiency of any practical internal or external combustion engine due to its very high compression ratio and inherent lean burn, which enables heat dissipation by the excess air. A small efficiency loss is also avoided compared to two-stroke, non-direct injection gasoline engines, since unburned fuel is not present at valve overlap and therefore no fuel goes directly from the intake injection to the exhaust. Low-speed diesel engines can have a thermal efficiency that exceeds 50%. Diesel engines are manufactured in two-stroke and four-stroke versions. They were originally used as a more efficient replacement for stationary steam engines. Since the 1910s they have been used in submarines and ships. Use in locomotives, trucks, heavy equipment and electricity generation plants followed later. In the 1930s, they slowly began to be used in a few automobiles. Since the 1970s, the use of diesel engines in larger on-road and off-road vehicles in the USA increased. According to the British Society of Motor Manufacturing and Traders, the EU average for diesel cars accounts for 50% of the total sold, including 70% in France and 38% in the UK. The world's largest diesel engine is currently a Wärtsilä-Sulzer RTA96C common rail marine diesel, which produces a peak power output of 84.42 megawatts at 102 revolutions per minute. History. In 1885, the English inventor Herbert Ackroyd Stewart began investigating the possibility of using paraffin oil for an engine, which unlike petrol would be difficult to vaporize in a carburetor as its volatility is not sufficient to allow this. His hot bulb engines, built from 1891 by Richard Hornsby and Sons, were the first internal combustion engine to use a pressurized fuel injection system. The Hornsby-Ackroyd engine used a comparatively low compression ratio, so that the temperature of the air compressed in the combustion chamber at the end of the compression stroke was not high enough to initiate combustion. Combustion instead took place in a separated combustion chamber, the vaporizer, or hot bulb, mounted on the cylinder head, into which fuel was sprayed. Self-ignition occurred from contact between the fuel air mixture and the hot walls of the vaporizer. As the engine's load increased, so did the temperature of the bulb, causing the ignition period to advance. To counteract pre-ignition, water was dripped into the air intake. The modern diesel engine incorporates the features of direct injection and compression ignition. Both ideas were patented by Ackroyd Stewart and Charles Richard Binney in May 1890. Another patent was taken out on 8 October 1890, detailing the working of a complete engine, essentially that of a diesel engine, where air and fuel are introduced separately. The difference between the Ackroyd engine and the modern diesel engine was the requirement to supply extra heat to the cylinder to start the engine from cold. By 1892, Ackroyd Stewart had produced an updated version of the engine that no longer required the additional heat source, a year before diesel's engine. In 1892, Ackroyd Stewart patented a water-jacketed vaporizer to allow compression ratios to be increased. In the same year, Thomas Henry Barton at Hornsby's built a working high-compression version for experimental purposes, whereby the vaporizer was replaced with a cylinder head, therefore not relying on air being preheated, but by combustion through higher compression ratios. It ran for 6 hours. The first time automatic ignition was produced by compression alone. This was 5 years before Rudolf Diesel built his well-known high-compression prototype engine in 1897. Rudolf Diesel was, however, subsequently credited with the compression-ignition engine innovation, despite Ackroyd Stewart's engine being patented 2 years earlier. The higher compression and thermal efficiency is what distinguishes Diesel's patent, a 3,500 kilopascals, from Ackroyd Stewart's hot bulb compression ignition engine patent, of about 600 kilopascals. Diesel improved his engine further, whereas Ackroyd Stewart stopped development on his engine in 1893. In 1892 Diesel received patents in Germany, Switzerland, the United Kingdom and the United States for method of an apparatus for converting heat into work. In 1893 he described a slow combustion engine that first compressed air, thereby raising its temperature above the igniting point of the fuel, then gradually introducing fuel while letting the mixture expand against resistance sufficiently to prevent an essential increase of temperature and pressure, then cutting off fuel and expanding without transfer of heat. In 1894 and 1895 he filed patents and addenda in various countries for his diesel engine. The first patents were issued in Spain, France and Belgium in December 1894, and in Germany in 1895 and the United States in 1898. He operated his first successful engine in 1897, at Augsburg. On August 10, 1893, Rudolf Diesel's prime model, a single 10-foot iron cylinder with a flywheel at its base, ran on its own power for the first time. Diesel spent 2 more years making improvements and in 1896 demonstrated another model with a theoretical efficiency of 75%. In contrast to the 10% efficiency of the steam engine. By 1898, Diesel had become a millionaire. His engines were used to power pipelines, electric and water plants, automobiles and trucks, and marine craft. They were soon to be used in mines, oil fields, factories, and transoceanic shipping. Timeline 1890s–1891. Herbert Ackroyd Stewart invents the first internal combustion engine to use a pressurized fuel injection system. 1892. February 23. Rudolf Diesel obtained a patent titled Arbeitsverfahren und Ausführungsart für Verbrennungsmaschinen. 1892. Ackroyd Stewart builds his first working diesel engine. 1893. Diesel's essay titled Theory and Construction of a Rational Heat Engine to replace the steam engine and combustion engines known today appeared. 1893. August 10. Diesel built his first working prototype in Augsburg. 1896. Blackstone & Co., a Stamford farm implement. They built lamp start oil engines. 1897. Adolphus Busch licenses rights to the diesel engine for the USA and Canada. 1898. Diesel licensed his engine to Brano-Bel, a Russian oil company interested in an engine that could consume non-distilled oil. Brano-Bel's engineers spent 4 years designing a ship-mounted engine. 1899. Diesel licensed his engine to builders Krupp and Sulzer, who quickly became major manufacturers. 1900s 1902. Until 1910 man produced 82 copies of the stationary diesel engine. 1903. 2 first diesel-powered ships were launched, both for river and canal operations. La Petite Pierre in France, powered by Dykhoff-built diesels, and Vandal tanker in Russia, powered by Swedish-built diesels with an electrical transmission. 1904. The French built the first diesel submarine, the Z. 1905. 4 diesel engine turbochargers and intercoolers were manufactured by Buck, as well as a scroll-type supercharger from Crew Company. 1908. Prospel Orange and Deutz developed a precisely controlled injection pump with a needle injection nozzle. 1909. The pre-chamber with a hemispherical combustion chamber was developed by Prospel Orange with Ben. 1910s 1910. The Norwegian research ship Fram was a sailing ship fitted with an auxiliary diesel engine, and was thus the first ocean-going ship with a diesel engine. 1912. The Danish built the first ocean-going ship exclusively powered by a diesel engine, MS Selondia. The first locomotive with a diesel engine also appeared. 1913. U.S. Navy submarines used NELSECO units. Rudolf Diesel died mysteriously when he crossed the English Channel on the SS Dresden. 1914. German U-boats were powered by MAN diesels. 1919. Prosper Lorentz obtained a patent on a pre-chamber insert and made a needle injection nozzle. First diesel engine from Cummins. 1920s–1921. Prosper Lorentz built a continuous variable output injection pump. 1922. The first vehicle with a diesel engine was agricultural tractor Type 6 of the Benz Sonar agricultural tractor OE Benz Senderling. 1923. The first truck with pre-chamber diesel engine made by MAN and Ben. Daimler Motor and Gesellschaft testing the first air injection diesel engine truck. 1924. The introduction on the truck market of the diesel engine by commercial truck manufacturers in the IAA. Fairbanks Morse starts building diesel engines. 1927. First truck injection pump and injection nozzles of Bosch. First passenger car prototype of Stoua. 1930s. Caterpillar started building diesels for their tractors. 1930. First U.S. diesel power passenger car built in Columbus, Indiana. 1930. Beardmore Tornado diesel engines power the British airship R-101. 1932. Introduction of the strongest diesel truck in the world by MAN with 160 horsepower. 1933. First European passenger cars with diesel engines. Citroën used an engine of the English diesel pioneer Sir Harry Ricardo. The car did not go into production due to legal restrictions on the use of diesel engines. 1934. First turbo diesel engine for a railway train by Maybach. First streamlined, stainless steel passenger train in the U.S., the Pioneer Zephyr, using a Winton engine. 1934. First tank equipped with diesel engine, the Polish 70P. 1934–35. Junkers Motor N-Worker in Germany started production of the Jumo aviation diesel engine family, the most famous of these being the Jumo 205. Of which over 900 examples were produced by the outbreak of World War II. 1936. Mercedes-Benz built the 260D diesel car. AT&SF inaugurated the diesel train Super Chief. The airship Hindenburg was powered by diesel engines. First series of passenger cars manufactured with diesel engine. Daimler-Benz airship diesel engine 602 LOF6 for the LZ-129 Hindenburg airship. 1937. The Soviet Union developed the Kharkiv Model V2 diesel engine, later used in the T-34 tanks, widely regarded as the best tank chassis of World War II. 1937. BMW 114 experimental airplane diesel engine development. 1938. General Motors forms the GM Diesel division, later to become Detroit Diesel, and introduces the Series 71 inline high-speed medium-horsepower two-stroke engine. GM's EMD subsidiary introduces the 567 two-stroke medium-speed, high-horsepower engine for locomotive, ship and stationary applications. These GM and EMD engines utilize GM's patented unit injector. 1938. First turbo diesel engine of Sora. 1940s–1942. Tatra started production of Tatra 111 with air-cooled V12 diesel engine. 1943–46. The common rail system was invented. Claire C. Cummins. 1944. Development of air cooling for diesel engines by Klockner Humboldt Deutz AG for the production stage, and later also for Majerus Deutz. 1950s. 1953. Turbo diesel truck for Mercedes in small series. 1954. Turbo diesel truck in mass production by Volvo. First diesel engine with an overhead camshaft of Daimler-Benz. 1958. EMD introduces turbocharging for its 567 series of medium-speed, high-horsepower locomotive, stationary and marine engines. Every subsequent engine would incorporate this turbocharger. 1960s. 1960. The diesel drive displaced steam turbines and coal-fired steam engines. 1962–65, a diesel compression braking system, eventually to be manufactured by Jacobs and nicknamed the Jake brake, was invented and patented by Claire C. Cummins. 1968. Peugeot introduced the first 204 small cars with a transversely mounted diesel engine and front-wheel drive. 1970s. 1973. DAF produced an air-cooled diesel engine. 1976. February. Tested a diesel engine for the Volkswagen Golf passenger car. The Cummins Common Rail injection system was further developed by the ETH Zurich from 1976 to 1992. 1978. Mercedes-Benz produced the first passenger car with a turbo diesel engine. Oldsmobile introduced the first passenger car diesel engine produced by an American car company. 1979. Peugeot 604, the first turbo diesel car to be sold in Europe. 1980s. 1985. ATI intercooler diesel engine from DAF. European truck common rail system with the IFA truck type W50 introduced. 1986. BMW 524TD, the world's first passenger car equipped with an electronically controlled injection pump. The same year, the Fiat Croma was the first passenger car in the world to have a direct injection diesel engine. 1987. Most powerful production truck with a 460 horsepower MAN diesel engine. 1989. Audi 100, the first passenger car in the world with a turbocharged direct injection and electronic control diesel engine. 1990s. 1991. European emission standards Euro 1 met with the truck diesel engine of Scania. 1993. Pump nozzle injection introduced in Volvo truck engines. 1994. Unit injector system by Bosch for diesel engines. Mercedes-Benz unveils the first automotive diesel engine with 4 valves per cylinder. Medium-speed high-horsepower locomotive, ship and stationary diesel engines have utilized 4 valves per cylinder since at least 1938. 1995. First successful use of common rail in a production vehicle, by Denso in Japan. Hino Rising Ranger truck. 1996. First diesel engine with direct injection and 4 valves per cylinder, used in the Opel Vectra. 1997. First common rail diesel engine in a passenger car, the Alfa Romeo 156. 1998. BMW made history by winning the 24-hour Nürburgring race with the 320d, powered by a 2-liter, 4-cylinder diesel engine. The combination of high performance with better fuel efficiency allowed a team to make fewer pit stops during the long-endurance race. Volkswagen introduces 3- and 4-cylinder turbodiesel engines, with Bosch-developed electronically controlled unit injectors. Smart presented the first common rail 3-cylinder diesel engine used in a passenger car. 1999. Euro 3 of Scania and the first common rail truck diesel engine of Renault. 2000s. 2002. A street-driven Dodge Dakota pickup with a 735 horsepower diesel engine built at Galebanks Engineering hauls its own service trailer to the Bonneville Salt Flats and set an FIA land speed record as the world's fastest pickup truck with a one-way run of 222 miles per hour and a two-way average of 217 miles per hour. 2004. In Western Europe, the proportion of passenger cars with diesel engine exceeded 50%. selective catalytic reduction system in Mercedes Euro 4 with EGR system and particle filters of MAN. Piezoelectric injector technology by Bosch. 2006. Audi R10 TDI won the 12 Hours of Sebring and defeated all other engine concepts. The same car won the 2006 24 Hours of Le Mans. Euro 5 for all Iveco trucks. JCB Diesel Max broke the FIA diesel land speed record from 1973, eventually setting the new record at over 350 miles per hour. 2007. Lombardini develops a new 440cc twin-cylinder common-rail diesel engine, which 2 years later sees application in automotive use, in the Ligier microcars. At the time, this engine was considered to be the smallest twin-cylinder engine with a common rail system. 2008. Subaru introduced the first horizontally opposed diesel engine to be fitted to a passenger car. This is a Euro 5 compliant engine with an EGR system. Seat wins the driver's title and the manufacturer's title in the FIA World Touring Car Championship with the Seat Leon TDI. The achievements are repeated in the following season. 2009. Volkswagen won the 2009 Dakar Rally held in Argentina and Chile, the first diesel to do so. Race 2 ARAG 2 models finished first and second. The same year, Volvo is claimed the world's strongest truck with their FH16 700, an inline six-cylinder, 16L 700 horsepower diesel engine producing 3,150 Nm of torque and fully complying with Euro 5 emission standards. 2010. Mitsubishi developed and started mass production of its 4N131.8 LDO HCI4, the world's first passenger car diesel engine that features a variable valve timing system. Scania AB's V8 had the highest torque and power ratings of any truck engine, 730 horsepower and 3,500 Nm. 2011. Piaggio launches a twin-cylinder turbodiesel engine, with common rail injection, on its new range of microvans.